That's what we suggested Phil and Monica try. Marriage counseling with clinical psychologist Dr. Javier Amador.
How was it getting here?
It was cool until we got off the train.
What happened when you got off the train?
I pretty much knew where I was going. I thought it was a left, but it was actually a right that I had to make. I was going the wrong way.
First of all, when Phil got out the train station, I asked him, do you know where you're going? He said, I know. As we're walking, we're already late. He says, oh, let me grab a donut. We're late already. He said, no, we have to be at 8:45. I said, no, we have to be at 8:30. He's still arguing with me. I got upset. Because you know why? He does it all the time. He doesn't help with the situation at all. He doesn't help. He does not help. Look at him. Now he's looking at his BlackBerry. And he's ignoring. See? You see? In my first therapy session, my husband was checking his BlackBerry. There was no hope. He didn't really care. I feel like I'm talking to a deaf person. What's the purpose?
It was difficult because there was so much stuff bottled up inside me. I cooperated, though. I wanted to make it work, so I cooperated.
Independently, what are you looking to get from this?
We definitely need some new ways to communicate, ways to solve problems like this, because this is a reoccurring thing.
I think I communicate very well.
Okay.
But my husband says I don't communicate well with him, but I communicate well with others.
So that might be a goal he has, that you would communicate better with him, but you don't think that's something you need to work on?
I think he doesn't communicate with me.
One person can't be wrong all of the time. And Monica sometimes gets into a phase where every little thing I do is wrong. Just don't punish me over every little thing I do.
For me, it's so important to see a couple argue and get a clear picture of whether they're arguing in a way that is destructive or a way that's constructive. You can argue in a way that brings you closer to the person you're arguing with, where you feel respected, you feel like they're listening to you, you feel the love that brought you together. They were arguing in ways that actually pushed them further apart. On Monica's part, it was raising her voice and pointing out her criticisms. It wasn't just one criticism, it was 2, 3, 4, 5. And so any single argument became not a single battlefield, but a whole, war.
All he sees is yap, yap, yap. Of course it's gonna sound like yap, 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 yap if you're not listening.
Phil understandably got overwhelmed and couldn't keep hearing it. From his perspective, everything, as he put it, he did was wrong, so why say anything at all? Now on his side, he was doing something that can be a very effective, positive strategy, which was kind of, quieting down, stopping, not talking. But he did it to the point where it really became an expression of his anger, where it became a passive-aggressive strategy.
Like, I played a lot of basketball in my life. Sometimes you end up with a team where there's maybe 1 or 2 people on a team pointing out everything that's wrong, arguing, running down the court when we should be playing defense.
Marriage is not basketball.
Wait, let me say one thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him motivated, I'm gonna get him amped up to win the game. I'm not gonna keep criticizing him, because you wanna know what I find? When I keep criticizing my small forward, he's gonna shut down. He's not gonna listen to me. We were so far down, that particular road where you don't know whether you're gonna make it or not. I was very far down that road.
You feel defeated sometimes.
And what are you feeling defeated by?
My marriage, my marriage is being defeated.
I married very impulsively. I divorced very thoughtfully. Changing your life is, by the way, very expensive, complicated, unpleasant business. And I don't think people do it until they feel like the alternative is worse.
My wife, we had a little incident where I thought we were gonna break up, and that's when I knew I loved it. When I felt like, oh man, if I lose her, I'm gonna be incredibly depressed. I'm gonna go insane if I don't have her. So that's when I knew, I love this woman. I can't lose her. I better clean up my act and fix things really fast.
I have never worked to keep a relationship going. I'm just the opposite. The first betrayal, I walk away.
I was there with my wife-to-be, and it's always great when you go to couple sessions therapy. You pray to God that your lover screws up in front of the doc. You see what I have to put up with? Ah.
Relationship issues are the primary reason why anybody seeks any kind of counseling in the United States. So we naturally have to ask, does that work? Do people realize benefits from that? Laboratory studies show that it does work.
Basically, that's what you said, right?
All therapies focus on making conflict constructive and getting people to talk about what their needs are. And for many couples, that just those two things are a revolution in the relationship. We've done research now on what to look for in an effective therapist. If the couple really feels that they can talk to this person, the person is not judging them, and it feels safe, and there's really a connection. It's that rapport between the therapist and the client that really creates the magic of therapy.
Do you think all men cheat? Can I ask you that question, honestly?
Do I think all men cheat? No.
I said to myself, damn, I didn't come into this relationship to make her unhappy. I came in here to make her happy and be her everything. And when I was doing my cheating thing, I really didn't care about my relationship anymore. I didn't care. I felt like she didn't want to be with me.
Right now, I just feel like punching him.
You still got an open wound there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I think then...
I don't trust him. I will never trust him like I trust him before. Never.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I can't answer that question right now. I have to think about that.
I suspect that, the long list of complaints you have maybe wouldn't be so long if you were feeling more trust. The fact is, if you can't trust your husband, how can you stay with him?
I agree.
I'm not telling you you should trust him. I'm not telling you you should not trust him. I'm telling you that what I see as an underlying issue for the two of you as a couple is rebuilding that trust if you can. Okay? I don't think anybody ever gets over being cheated on. I think that damage to the trust is always going to be there. The question is it there as an open wound, or is it there as a scar? I think that for Monica, if she can't forgive and take the leap of faith to trust again, there can't be a relationship.
It was the fact that he lied about what he did.
I don't know if Monica sees what was happening in the relationship and her contribution to it. It doesn't absolve him of the ultimate responsibility by any means, but it broadens the sense of responsibility in terms of how do I relate to my partner.
Have a seat. No tricks right now.
What are you doing? Why are you sitting there? But listen, you hear me? Yes. I'm kind of a little tired.
You're kind of tired.
Not tired physically, just tired mentally.
I wish my wife would start to let certain things go so together we can move forward. We have a long way to go.
You want to try to explain that one?
Yeah. Let's relate this to basketball, right?
Why do you always have to socialize shit with sports? I'm getting tired of that. I've been hearing about basketball for 5 damn years now. I'm tired of hearing basketball. Every topic is basketball. What the hell is wrong with you?
Here's the problem for both of you. There is no absolute truth. We can get 10 people lined up and we can get 10 different votes on it, and you're both going to be right and you're both going to be wrong. And so that's not how you resolve arguments.
Emotions are never right or wrong. They're always right. From the perspective of the person feeling the emotion, it's the truth. It's what I feel.
One of the things that you can learn to do is to really understand and respect each other's point of view.
Yes, even if I'm wrong, I want to feel respected.
Okay.
Like I was heard.
Like you were heard.
Yes.
Okay.
When you do this kind of work, you really are trying to help people see what they can change in themselves first. Because if they're so myopically focused on trying to change their partner, that's actually how they got into the bad place they're in. Because you can't change the other person. You can focus on changing yourself.
Well, I'm sorry I was so cranky.
You know, you can't hurt my feelings as easy as you used to. I had this image that to be really competent, you're an administrator, you're an executive. And so I spent, I don't know, 12 or 15 years trying to be a middle manager and really not doing it well, doing it very poorly, and getting depressed. I think the one thing that made the big difference was finally letting go of that idea of making a lot of money or being a big shot. I'm doing a much less ambitious kind of work, and I'm getting a lot of pleasure. I do counseling now. I see people who are hurting, and I'm good at it. And it feels good to do it.
We don't have much on the list. I grew up with a misunderstanding of what sex was all about. The views that I had, even from very young in my life, had to do with the role of the woman as being there to meet the needs of a man and to not meet her own needs. At times I did think, this is too hard. I just want out of this situation. We build up a whole world and a whole idea about who we are. Mm-hmm. I'm a person who, you know, has these points of view, and I see the world in this way. And then I had to shed all of that.
Right.
I had to shed all of this years and years and years of an idea of who I was and how I related to men and the whole thing. And it was very hard.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Was it?
I'm only sorry I didn't do it sooner.
Yeah.
Phil, just so I can get the big picture, when did your father pass away?
When I was about 2.
How did he pass away? Do you mind if I ask?
Murder.
He was murdered?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so when you were 2, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any memory of your father at all?
I definitely remember him putting a basketball in my crib, and I remember that basketball. I remember hugging the basketball, trying to hold it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely remember that.
It meant a lot to you.
That's why I love basketball so much.
And that's your only memory of him?
Of him, yeah. That's the only memory.
That's amazing. Like, I didn't know that. So now I understand why. It was like a light bulb went off my head, like, oh my gosh.
I think the biggest change I saw in Monica, which makes me very optimistic about her, is empathy. And with that realization, you know, she's also revealing the love she has for him. And it was apparent in the moment that she had it that this was where she was motivated to change.
I wasn't letting him express himself. I wasn't basically listening to him. Listening goes a long way when you listen to somebody. It really does. And sometimes it's better to listen. Be the receiver, because you'll learn a lot more.
I'm only one person. I'm doing everything in my power right now to go to the next level and to move forward or whatever.
Good. Then you're not going to mind that I'm giving you 3 hours of homework between now and the next time we meet, right?
3 hours?
Okay. Can you have one date?
Ooh, a date?
Can you have a date?
Yes.
Can you fit that in?
Yes, we can definitely fit it.
Okay. No complaints allowed during that date. If you have the impulse, even if it feels artificial, don't do it. Look for something to do.
It's so hard.
You can't stop arguing for 2 hours?
Once I go, I go.
We can
I can do
Give
it.
it a shot. It's real simple.
My date with Phil, it was nice. It was really nice. We haven't did that have we ever done that before? We have to think. for just me and him and candles, the last time I think we did something really romantic like that was at our wedding.
We did a lot of communicating lately, and I let her know a lot of things that was really on my mind. You know, not just to argue about them, or not even really to just discuss them, just to let her know how I felt about certain things, and it felt good for me.
I think Phil's epiphany was that he can't just shut up and let it all settle down. That when he stops talking, it makes Monica crazy. He's learned that he's got to find a way of communicating that she can hear.
I'm going to be receptive to those things that she says, and I'm going to say what I want to say back.
I don't take it as criticism.
But I am very optimistic for Monica and Philip, because there's a great deal of basic respect and admiration and love. They really appreciate each other.
My wife told me, she said, you know what, you're a good husband. Because
When I told Phil he was a good father and a good husband, I told him he was both, he felt real good.
I said, you know what? I started looking around. I said, you're right. That was the best gift she ever gave me.
Put your hood on your head, Jamal. It's chilly out here.
Phil is a good man. He's a strong man. Everyone falls. Everyone falls. It's not about the fall, it's about getting up. And how fast you get up. You understand? So I could honestly say, yes, I played part to his infidelity. I did. And I forgive him. I forgive him.
As far as, you know, staying together for 20, 30 years, it's gonna take constant attention, constant work. It's gonna take a lot. It's not gonna be easy at all. But I'm willing to do the work.